probably wrapped you weren't out there today. It was a long, tough session in the heat.
Yeah, it was. Myself and Ryan Crowley did a similar session yesterday morning, so I can at least sympathise with the boys a little bit. It did look a very, very tough and solid session, but this is what this period of training is all about. An opportunity to play some games and trial out some new positions and new players and get match fit, but clearly it's about maintaining a training standard throughout the week as well. So come March 23, we're ready to go.
Is there a bit of a buzz that footy's, an actual game of footy is just around the corner amongst the playing group?
Yeah, very much so. Clearly it's a long, hot summer and guys have been working extremely hard over, sort of the best part of 3 months now. So for them, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. There's actually some tangible benefits towards the end of this week in terms of getting out there and playing and seeing all their hard work pay off, and that is only a step into what will be a crucial 4 weeks for us.
Can't help but get excited about Nat Fyfe. He's probably going to take over your mantle as the best player at the club. Are you happy with that?
Oh, look, I think Nat's an improving player. He's still got a fair bit of work to do in a couple of areas of his game, which he's aware of as much as anyone, and certainly the leadership group have been pushing him hard on a couple of areas. But yeah, we're pleased to see him out there training strongly, and we've got no doubt he can contribute strongly to the team. What
does he need to improve on then? What's the leadership?
Look, we won't really want to talk specifics, given that it's something that we deal with internally, and like any sort of young and maturing player, you sort of think back to when I was growing up and developing my game, the same with Luke McFarlane and David Mundy. You haven't got it all sorted out by the age of 21. So like every young player on our list, we continue to challenge them to get better, and clearly Nat's got some great strengths that we think are going to be fantastic for him and the club, but like every player, we continue to challenge them.
So in that sense, is it hard to live up to expectations? And I mean, you went through the same thing. Everyone knew at some stage you were going to be a great player, but at 21 years of age, is that a tough time for you to?
Just trying to think, reflecting on I know I never found it personally that tough to live up to expectations. I think as an AFL footballer, an athlete, you're continually trying to get better no matter the circumstance, and you don't have a chance to look through sort of the rose-coloured glasses and smell the roses. You're always looking for that next challenge. So from that perspective, it was always, okay, tick, yep, well done, and let's move on. So, and Nat's very much that way. He's a driven and motivated young player, as well as the majority of our youth, and they seek those challenges as much as anything else, as compared to achieving something and then sort of being satisfied with that.
How's your training progressed in the last 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, really well. I've almost had enough of one-on-one footy training sessions. As I said, I did a pretty solid session yesterday morning with Ryan and the fitness staff and a couple of assistant coaches, and hopefully I'll be doing the same later this week, and likely to train in a football session with the guys that miss out on Saturday. So that'll sort of line us up for most of the week next week with the group, I believe, with some top-up running and whatnot, with the view to playing the second last or last NAB Cup game.
What do you think the teams can get out of the NAB Cup? What do you hope they get out of it this year?
Oh, look, probably similar to the past NAB Cups, is that they get a huge amount of match fitness, that they get belief in their own game, and they have confidence that come the real season, that not only the game plan stands up, but their own improvements over the summer physically stand up. And I think a couple of new players coming in, Daniel Pearce is one obviously, and some of the other younger players stepping in. From that perspective, just getting a bit of continuity in the side.
Do you need to refine the game plan at all compared to last year? Is it less of a...
I don't think you ever stop sort of refining things. Throughout last year we were understanding how Ross wanted us to play, but we were making subtle changes as we went. So clearly it's going to be, when we've got competition against other teams, we've been training extremely hard also. It's going to be great to get a sense of how we match up against the competition this year.
Just noticed in today's session, you guys are going to the boundary a lot in match simulations, probably a lot more so than you would have throughout last year. Is that something that's one of those evolving tactics, and do you reckon we'll see a bit of it in NAB Cup?
So I don't really understand the question.
Just in the match sim, you guys are going to the boundary pretty much every time it was brought out from the back. That wasn't something that happened sort of a lot last year.
As in going wider with the ball?
Yeah.
Look, it hasn't been a focus. Whether or not today was just a anomaly or it stood out for some particular reason, I'm not entirely sure, but it hasn't been a focus in our training. We clearly want to move the ball quickly and through the corridor where we can, but certainly we don't want to be turning the ball over inside our defensive 50 to give the opposition an easy shot at goal. So I think today just might have been, was a bit hot and the guys were trying to go a bit wider.
Who gets a chance up forward just while you're out over the next few weeks to maybe I noticed Sandy was deep in the goal square, also did a bit of ruck.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got 3 genuine ruck options with Zach Clark as well. So Aaron, John and young Jack have been playing in that ruck position through the match simulation, and Zach's been playing a combination of the two. Kepler Bradley's obviously another one, Chris Main. And who knows, there might be a sort of a young guy who's been drafted recently pop up and play that position. But I think our small forwards have been training the house down really. Hayden and Sun and Josh Mellington have all been training quite well. So I assume they may get an opportunity come this Saturday night. And clearly they were the incumbents from last year.
You mentioned Sun. His turnaround seems to be, from an outsider looking in, it's been incredible since all the drama of early on last year. How have you seen his development in 2 years or 18 months?
Yeah, well, it's really even shorter than that, 12 months. I don't think he was training with us at this time last year, and we had some pretty open and candid discussions with him about not only his time at the club last year, but what that may mean in the not too distant future. So it's great to see him back out there training really hard and putting in the hard work, and I think what we're starting to see out there is the Michael Wardles that we wanted to draft. The guy that's got terrific skills, works extremely hard defensively, and is someone who realistically has turned his career around.
I noticed another bunch of drug testers rock up today. It's a pretty ever-present thought in your mind. And how much is the latest ACC findings discussed amongst the group or amongst sort of players?
Well, I think coincidental, that's normally a part of the process, having the guys come down and test. Look, it's been something that the guys have been discussing. Everywhere you go, it's been sort of in your face a little bit, which you have to deal with, and clearly there's some ongoing things that are transpiring. So we're really comfortable where our footy club's at. Ours is a food first focus. All about the diet and working hard. So we're really comfortable where we're at.
There's obviously no premiership points up for grabs on Saturday, but you are playing the Eagles. Is it important to get an edge over them ahead of the season?
Look, I don't think there is in our sense. We just want to get out there and try play really hard and make it a fantastic hit out. So we're well positioned for a month's time. The fact that we're playing the Eagles or Geelong, to be frank, doesn't bother us one bit.